On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. The day finally came. He's supposedly going to talk to us about this, but it's basically official. Joe Biden has stepped down. I've got some amazing stuff to share. One, a lot of people are very familiar with the fact that Trump finished his last rally, I want to say it was Friday night, with that song from Sum of All Fears, that end. We're going to play that ending just so for those of you that haven't seen it, you can see it. For those of you that have seen it, you can see it again. And then I actually found something that was amazing. It's a lady singing it in English. And damn, she does a good job. And it made me tear up. I'm curious if I can get through it without crying. We'll find out. But I've got a bitchin' show for us. Got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. First and foremost, let's do some Donald Trump stuff. He will never stop fighting for us. It's one of the joys we've got right now.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
He will execute whoever he's allowed.
Threatens the foundation of our republic.
The man who wants to be a dictator.
Many tendencies like Adolf Hitler.
Impeach Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is broke and begging for money.
An indictment charging Donald J. Trump.
President Trump will surrender to authorities. He is destructive to democracy. He has to be eliminated.
Our resolve is unbroken and our purpose is unchanged. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer, greater, and more united than ever before.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is what's happening, folks. They missed. They failed, and this is going to make a lot more sense when we get to the Sum of All Fears stuff, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Donald Trump, I got some stuff that he's posted out, and some, I think, really good stuff. I feel like he's trying to unite the nation. To me, he seems very, I don't want to say very different, but he seems changed since the assassination attempt. Donald Trump is a new man, a new person, and he's coming at this problem differently. And I think it's because he finally, I don't know, I don't know if he finally realized or if this was just the time to do it at the RNC to finally unite everybody anyway. He did say he changed his speech for that night because of the shooting. So it's hard to say exactly what was going on in his mind, but where he's at and what he's demonstrating, I think, is pretty powerful. I think he's truly trying to unite the country. So some of his truths that he put out, just like our ancestors, we must now come together, rise above past differences and disagreements, and go forward united as one people and one nation, pledging allegiance to one great and beautiful American flag. I ask for your partnership, for your support, and I am humbly asking for your vote. Every day, I will strive to honor the trust you have placed in me, and I will never let you down. Another truth he had. The discord and division in our society must be healed. As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America. Also truth. As long as our energies are spent fighting each other, our destiny will remain out of reach. We must instead take that energy and use it to realize our country's true potential and write our own thrilling chapter of American story. It is a story of love, sacrifice, success, and unmatched devotion. So many of us are going to be proud of how we went through this. I know I am. I'm already injuring my elbow a lot, just overly patting myself on the back. More truthing from Don. 4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Together, we will launch a new era of safety, prosperity, and freedom for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. And by the way, creed, I would say, would cover not just a band, but also the LGBT community. They may feel like Trump's not in it for them, but I think you guys have been pretty anti-us, hardcore. We're willing to let you in. But you guys can't be like you've been. Can't be dicks. Sorry, no room for that. Donald Trump, truth this, together, we will lead America to new heights of greatness like the world has never seen before. Under our leadership, the United States will be respected again. No nation will question our power. No enemy will doubt our might. Our borders will be totally secure. Our economy will soar. We will return law and order to our streets, patriotism to our schools, and importantly, We will restore peace, stability, and harmony all throughout the world. Love this dude. Here's a really cool moment where Zuckerdick says something surprisingly cool in an interview, and you can tell where he's at. Even though he's not going to come out and say anything publicly, you can tell where he's at.
I've done some stuff personally in the past. I'm not planning on doing that this time. And that includes, not endorsing either of the candidates. Now, look, there's obviously a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. The historic events over the weekend. And, on a personal note, it's, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. But look, it's, and I think, look, it's, at some level as an American, it's like hard to not get kind of emotional about that spirit and that fight. And I think that's why a lot of people like the guy.
Did he call Trump a badass? Hell yeah, he did. You try getting shot in the face and get back up and start pumping your fists. That's just some scary ass crap. Here's Hulk Hogan talking about why it took him so long to get to where he's at. I think it's powerful. I think people are explaining the obvious. The entertainment industry is not fair. And he's right. You don't want to necessarily lose part of your audience. But there's a point where that doesn't matter anymore, does it? It's kind of where a lot of us fell. Like, I get people I love are on the other side of the fence. Yeah, I kind of don't care anymore. I do. I want them to make it. I want them to make choices, but I can't force them. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I can't make them drink. I can't, no matter what I do. So, all I can do is just continue moving in the direction I'm moving and hope they catch up is all I hope at this point. And maybe it's not that easy for a lot of you guys, but the fact of the matter is I know what's up. I know the mission, and I know why I'm here. And people that aren't helping forward that are generally people that I don't keep really close to me for obvious reasons. But Hulk Hogan talking about the big picture, and I think a lot of people in Hollywood are coming to this, and they've got a few months to start publicly speaking about it. I think it's cool.
Well, brother, as an entertainer, you want to sell tickets, and you really don't want to split your audience. You don't want to say, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. You want all kind of people come to see you perform. I stayed silent for so long. It was killing me. I watched the border crash and burn. I watched the economy crash and burn. I watched Trump's family be compromised. I watched his business. I watched him try to put him in jail. I was silent, and I hardly could hold my tongue. And then when they took that shot at him and tried to kill our leader, that was it for me, brother. I couldn't do it anymore. But that's why I stayed silent, because it was a business decision. It was a weak decision. It was a cowardly decision. But now that's over with, brother. I'm on the team.
And ultimately, that's all that matters. Is making sure people join the team. And we got to have room for them, no matter who they are, right? They could have just 5 weeks ago, they could have said some of the douchiest shit they've ever could have said. And then today they're saying something different. Well, today is what we're going to judge them on. Okay? May not trust them, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to listen. I'm open. And you'll very quickly establish who's faking it and who's not. And I think most people won't be faking it. Jordan Sather posted this, and I thought it was pretty good synopsis. Russia frame job failed. Impeachments failed. Indictments failed. Assassination failed. They can't get DJT, so now they're going to try to get the American people. Could see destabilization efforts against our infrastructure and supply chains over the next couple months. Stay frosty and prepared, friends. And yeah, that's where we're at. Just be open to the bigger picture, because we are definitely looking. We're looking. Anything. And we got some expectations. We know they want to start war. We know there's the possible sickness thing, but I think we're really kind of keeping both of those things at bay. So I'm not sure. I'm curious what some of you guys think, but I'm not sure what other crazy angle they could try to come at this with. But again, they're going to get to a point where they're going to realize they have zero chance of winning the election, even with their fake electors or fake votes or whatever. There's just no way. They will see the internal polling. They will know the reality of things, and it will be too late. So they're going to have to probably figure out a way to pause the election. And how do you do that? It's in the Constitution to be able to, but pretty much active war, I think, is one of the only ones. And we've been at war before and had elections. So again, how do they do this? And we're obviously going to see right through it and make crap tons of noise. Is that when they shut everything down? The days of darkness? Again, the military is the only answer. I don't know how this plays out, folks. This movie's, it's shaping up. We can kind of see something's coming, but we don't exactly know what it's going to be. Which again, sum of all fears should come into play. Because some of that's the same. The other side doesn't see what's coming either. It's a funny game we're playing. Donald Trump has a lawsuit. This was his former physician. And he went and he's been talking about helping his ear and talking about what actually happened. He did lose some part of his ear. There was no sutures required because of its cartilage. It's just kind of they would have to actually graft something in there or whatever. Trump's probably going to leave it jacked up looking because it serves the purpose to remind everybody. But the dude's basically saying he's doing good. The rally Trump had in Michigan, he had a smaller bandage that's skin-colored now. So he's it's getting better, I think. But again, ears bleed a bunch. And so there's a lot of blood vessels in your ears, and they bleed a bunch. So, yeah, Trump's been, he's doing good, big picture. I don't know if he got into pain pills because he's not really into taking narcotics, but I would assume that hurt like a mother effer. So I'm curious if he actually took some pain pills for a couple days, because he did seem a little more somber too, and who knows, that could have just been him being high on pain pills. Not high, but you guys, anyone that's taken pain pills, you get a little bit of a thing from them. They're kind of a trip. Barack Obama awarded Pearson's Publishing $350 million to create the Common Core curriculum. So Barack Obama gave taxpayer money to a company called Pearson Publishing. After leaving office, a subsidiary of Pearson Publishing gave Obama a $65 million book deal. If this sounds familiar, that's because this is exactly what just happened with hashtag FTX, right? You guys remember Sam Bankman-Fried? These people, our elected officials, literally are stealing money from us and laundering it back to themselves as campaign donations and everything else. There's so many things that we are putting an end to. Now, just a great image of how much changed. There's a lot of debate on whether or not they faked this. I don't think you'd fake a shooting. I think that's absurd. I actually shared a Brandon Herrera video on my Twitter and Truth, I think, both of those. And it just, he's a shooter I'm fond of. Him and Demolition Ranch are two. And then the dude that the 50 cal blew up in his face, Kentucky Ballistics. There's three dudes that I am very, very fond of when it comes to firearms and talking about stuff and just trying crazy things and, ballistic gel and watching what happens. So all of that said, Brandon did a whole video with ballistic gel from the same distance and tried to just clip the ear. And the amount of damage the bullet did just on that was insane. Then, which was kind of interesting, I swear, you guys should check it out, Brandon Herrera, YouTube. He did a video where the final one was he used the same rifle, the sniper rifle that the Secret Service had, the one that they fatally shot the shooter with. Yeah, they shot the ballistic with that. Oh, man, I don't want to ruin it for you, but damn. So, yeah, I don't know what the dude looked like on the roof, but it probably wasn't pretty, to say the least. Needless to say, Trump turned to face the Jumbotron. At that moment, it took the whole side of his melon and turned it to the skinny way, and he kind of even moved his head sideways a little, kind of cocked it because he was looking up at the screen, and look at what happened. The one shot that probably would have got him, and it's probably the first shot, I would assume. Usually that's the best shot of any shooter. The first shot's the clean one. It's the best one. You have a moment to rest. You've got your breathing under control. Now everything's under duress to a degree. There's no way your second, third, fourth, fifth shots are going to be anything close. And that's how it happened. Douche. Like he tried to do 3 shots that were reasonably performed, trying. And then from there, it was just frick. Pa, 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 pa. And then at some point, he got popped. Oh, literally. His head probably popped. Here is some analysis that's been done. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because I almost feel like it's old news, but so much is coming out, and we're learning a lot of things. There's even a video we had that shows the tower from a different angle. You can still see the shadow, but it's like a clearer, better version of it. I don't see anything moving around on it. So again, I am not sure about what. I haven't made my mind up by any imagination. Some of you might, some of you might not. I mean, I strongly recommend keeping an open mind always, because this is complex, how it happened, and exactly who and how was involved. And you can see where there's so many lapses. You see people that literally put signs up on both sides of the president that say, "Fire Biden." The second they put those up, pew, 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 shots come. So that's interesting. Could be a coincidence, right? So a lot of weird things happened. All said, here's some pretty good analysis, I feel.
This is the area we're going to focus in on. Here you can see the 3 victims that were injured by gunfire and where they were standing in the bleachers. We're going to turn around and demonstrate exactly where these bullets came from. This model represents Thomas Crooks. His position can be seen here in this image, which illustrates exactly where he was. Turning around, we can see the path of all the bullets that were fired from this location. I placed a 10-foot red disc downrange to represent what an average shooter could hit easily. Now let's take a look at this first shot fired. Coming from our key location, bullet 1 grazes President Trump's ear. This is the same bullet that hits a spectator in the stands. We know this through video evidence. As President Trump is talking, the first shot rings out just after he says, "Take a look at what happened."
Something to say. Take a look at what happened.
We can see the vapor trail of a bullet strike, which is the same bullet that struck President Trump's ear a split second earlier, and this video is this location here. Back at the podium, President Trump is shot and grabs his ear, falling to the ground as more shots rang out. In total, there were 7 or 8 shots, so let's rewind and watch this at regular speed.
Take a look at what happened.
With all that gunfire, it's easy to understand how these spectators were injured, even though they were not the target, including the sole spectator who lost his life that day. As we circle around, we can see how all the paths of the bullets were hitting in the location of this forklift machine, causing one of the hydraulic hoses to burst.
And here's the thing, guys, and again, a lot of us have made our minds up already, but what this would imply is that all the shots did come from Crooks, which is a whole separate thing. Like, if he literally pulled this off and the dude had been shooting for 6 months and he was only 20 years old and he had no formal military training, wait, what? This is radical in so many ways. So I don't know. Someone did some, in my opinion, amazing analysis. This was actually something I hit up one of my buddies on one time to try to see. And I wasn't very specific. I'm glad somebody was kind of thinking in the same line I was, because you want to be able to figure out the path where bullets hit relative. You can get a couple points, right? And I was wondering if the Jumbotron, it had to have been in angles from there. And the tower does work, but so does the roof. They're both on the other sides, but they would have been shooting at different angles. And the crowd would not have gotten hit the way they did had they been shooting from the tower. They just wouldn't have. So hard to say what happened, but whatever the case was, him looking at the Jumbotron made the shooter miss, and thank God that was actually the case. We have a Right Side Broadcasting shows the entire event unfold. Oh, this was actually just a good thread. A lot of analysis has been done. A lot of people are digging into it. I think that thing we just did is probably sufficient. Oliver did some really good work here at O. Alexander DK. He did a really good thread, so you guys can check that out if you feel the need. The need for speed. Whistleblowers allege Trump rally was considered loose security event. This is what he's come to find out. Howley has talked to multiple whistleblowers at this point. And they said, you know what? Things don't add up in any way, shape, or form. All sorts of things don't work out. Now, they haven't come out and given specifics, but they are coming out and basically saying, look, here's the deal. Secret Service screwed up somehow. And best we can tell, 1, it was loose, so they intentionally left things open. 2, we realized we understand there was a chain of command issue that kept the people, the Secret Service, from actually dealing with the problem. Those snipers on that sloped roof, by the way, Secret Service on a sloped roof, those Secret Service agents on the sloped roof with rifles set up with tripods on the sloped roof actually could have shot the shooter way before anything ever happened. They could have told Trump. We're going to have Trump talk about that coming up here in a sec. So this whole thing was pretty crazy how it played out. We know there was multiple failures, and we're talking about it, we're sharing it, and they're not hiding it. Why? Because of malinformation. bad information for the deep state. So my malinformation that I'm happily sharing, thank you, and you're welcome. NBC News posted this: Trump rally shooters searched online about Michigan school shooter and explosives. They're desperately trying to make this dude look like a crazy man, and then they got him registered as a Republican, so they're like, haha, see? It's people on the right. It's like, you guys are stupid all over the place. But that said, I don't have any facts to share. I just think you guys are stupid right now, frankly. It's just ridiculous. This dude supposedly was looking at images of Trump's face and all this. We've heard crazy stories that he was just trying to shoot more people in the crowd, but then when he realized that Trump was a prime target, then he decided to go for him instead. So maybe that was his plan, was just to shoot up a bunch of Trump supporters. And because of the temptation and God not allowing this dude to accomplish what he was thinking he was going to accomplish, they only let him kill one person in that crowd. That guy probably wasn't going to live no matter what. And injure two others that have lived. So when you think about the way world works, nature works, just life works, there is so much crazy stuff going on in this incident that it indicates, one, this was tried against us intentionally, and two, divine intervention to some degree, whatever that means. Higher dimensions, UFOs, God, I am open to all sorts of different possibilities. I really am. But something quicker and faster and larger than us, if you will, at the moment, or at least capable technology-wise, helped. Maybe it was just his who was it, Ivanka? Maybe it was her. Maybe she tapped him on the shoulder and he's like, what? Whatever the case is. There's so much. And also another thing, a fact that's interesting. You guys all have seen the image, right? Of the bullet whizzing. You can see the long trail and it's right by Trump's head, right? That means that there was someone pointing a very high-speed camera, because the feet per second on these types of rounds are very fast. Even at this distance, they wouldn't have slowed down much. So this fast frame camera was pointing at Trump's head directly center, hoping to get the melon explode shot. But it didn't. But we see the tracer. Well, it's not even a tracer. We see the vapor trail coming off it. Very strange. Gunman who tried to kill Donald Trump, he was able to fly a drone and get aerial footage of the whole place before it happened. How is he this smart? It's a 20-year-old kid that supposedly is an MK Ultra guy. Who's feeding him information? Hey, you know what you should do? You should get some drone footage. Ooh, that's a great idea. Oh, I'll do that. I got a drone. I know, I bought it for you. Yeah, fly that over there. It's funny, Donald Trump Jr. was talking about it. Just to underscore how crazy this all is, I was once prevented flying my own drone off the beach at Mar-a-Lago by Secret Service because my father was inside the house. Now we have one literally scouting his speech. Well, that seems strange, doesn't it? Ezra Cohn, is it normal for lone gunmen who are mentally disturbed to perform aerial pre-attack surveillance? I have not heard of this before with other mass shooting incidents, right? Trump gunman flew drone over rally site hours before attempted assassination. This just doesn't add up. Not at all. I don't know if this dude had extra training or maybe there was someone, right? I don't know. I don't know if there's a line of sight. If you go with the analysis we saw that everyone kind of stops the line at the rooftop. I don't know. Do you draw that line out further and do you find something at 500 yards, 1,000 yards? I don't think it was that windy that day. I'd be curious what rooftops exist beyond that one rooftop that are maybe slightly elevated higher. I don't know. For those of you guys that like doing that stuff, that'd be something to look at. Because you get out to 1,000 feet, they could make that shot. It'd be, tough, but if they don't got to worry about nothing, and they wait for this dude to shoot, and then they fought, right? Or when the fire sign came up, they fire at the same time because that's what the crooks was waiting for. All of this has a funk to it. Has a major funk to it. And I can say it's conspiracy theory. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. There's too much weirdness to not call it out. Joe Rogan raises serious questions about this whole thing. Let's listen.
Suspicious person, 10 minutes before Trump went on stage. They still wouldn't let him go on stage. They saw him on the fucking roof, and they didn't engage. Yeah. They saw him on the roof with a rifle.
It's a bad Secret Service right there.
They wouldn't put Secret Service agents on the roof because they said there was a slope to the roof.
Right.
And it would be dangerous.
It's more dangerous if the ex-president gets shot.
Bro,
which he did.
They let him get off. The kid got off 3 shots. And apparently there was one that we saw that hit his ear, and you see the bullet. Like, the photographer got a bullet
I saw that.
flying by his head.
Yeah.
But apparently there's another one of a bullet going by his left side of his head. So it went by the right side of his head, hit his ear, and went by the left side of his head as well. Because the guy got off 3 shots.
Yeah.
And he just missed Trump every time.
There's the one shot of him like turning his head, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It was that close?
Dude, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And the fact that they had such poor security guarding him, like they did such a terrible job.
My uncle's convinced it's bullshit. My uncle's like, there's no way this is real.
I don't think it's not real, but look, here's the deal. Okay, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Just want to be real clear.
Yeah.
But they have organized assassinations before.
Sure.
And when they organize
usually starts a war.
Assassinations, it looks just like that. And when they organize assassinations, one of the things they like to do is have some fucking loser kill the president, and then they kill the fucking loser, and that's a wrap. This kid kind of like stops all the leads.
Oh,
everything's like, where's he go? So they have his phone. They say they can't get into his phone. Bitch, I know you read my text messages.
Yeah,
so
why is it taking so long to break into this shit?
Phone? How can you not get in that kid's phone?
It's always
They knew that if this kid was going to go on the roof and shoot the president, they could talk him into going on the roof. Let's assume, not even this scenario, because let's not be crazy. Let's just say if you wanted to set up a scenario, we're going to have someone assassinate the president. You get some guy whose life is a fucking complete and total disaster. You either hypnotize him or you mentor him, you give him psychiatric drugs, you do a bunch of things, you get him to do it, and you know that once he gets on top of that roof and shoots the president, everyone's going to shoot him. And it's nice and clean. They never let those guys live.
My question is, though, how? Of course, but my question is, do you want him actually to kill Trump in this scenario?
Yeah. They definitely wanted him to kill Trump.
They absolutely wanted that. And again, who it is exactly, I mean, we've got our guess. I'm not going to speculate, right? It doesn't matter. We have our guess who these people are. Rep. Jim Jordan posted this. Americans have now raised over $6.4 million for the victims of this awful shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania last week. Tells you what a great country we are and how much we care. Notice the roof is sloped, by the way. Just saying, real quick, guys, if you can look at the screen and notice that the sniper's on a sloped roof. Sloped roof. Oh, my God, a sloped roof. However do you manage such a difficult task? It must be those special shoes they're wearing. I saw a cow do it. Saying cow was walking on a sloped roof. They don't have special shoes. They got hooves, man. They got hooves, baby. I don't know what the hell they are, but they're hoofed. FBI agents are supposedly canvassing the area where the shooter was. They're supposedly going in and talking to people going inside, which is never do, folks. Talk to them outside if you're going to talk to them at all. Never bring them into your house, ever. But they went inside and talked for like 5 minutes and left and went door to door going inside, talking to people for 5 minutes. Again, no way in hell I'd let them inside my house. Hey, can we come inside and talk about stuff? Hell no. I'll talk to you out here if it's something important, but you ain't coming to my house. No. Psh, don't. And they don't have a right to unless they got a warrant. If they don't have a warrant, they can't come in your house. They can't bully you into coming into your house. Doctors say antidepressants may have pushed Trump shooter Thomas Crooks over the edge. You guys remember how one of the first stories that came out was that he didn't have a shrink? He wasn't in psychological problems. Like, they wanted so badly for this guy to be like, no, he's just someone that loves Trump and wanted to kill people. And Trump especially. He loves Trump so much, he wanted to shoot him. That's how much he loves Trump. I don't know about you guys, but that's like a weird kind of love. That's like total deep state devil kind of love. Like, I love my brother Abel so much, I'm going to kill him. Okay, Cain. Sounds like a great idea, buddy. It's disgusting. Here we've got, I think this is Jordan Sather wrapping up a point. It's a pretty good little whiteboard recap that he does. Anyway.
Whiteboard recap, July 19th, updates on the Trump rally shooting. Couple of pieces of conspiracy clickbait to debunk. First, number one, there's some posts going around claiming the FBI assistant director was standing behind the stage during the shooting. But when you look at the woman they're claiming that was her, nothing's adding up. Neck's different, ears, nose, jawline, everything. So I call bullshit on that one. Second, I don't know if I'm buying this narrative. There was a second shooter on the water tower. Second shooter maybe, but when you look close at the video of the water tower, it just looks like logos on the side. Now to our legit news. Number one, there was an investment company called Austin Private Wealth that was shorting DJT stock in the days before the shooting. Super suspect. When they got caught doing that, they put out a statement that just called it an error. Yeah, bullshit. Next, we got Senator Josh Hawley, who put out a tweet saying he's got Secret Service whistleblowers contacting him, saying nothing's adding up. No shit, Sherlock. And they're saying that most of Trump's security detail that day wasn't even from the Secret Service. They were from a different department of the Department of Homeland Security. Weird. Next, we got the Secret Service director. She's going to be testifying in front of Congress on Monday. About frickin' time. We'll see if she gives legit answers or not. And lastly, it's been found the shooter had 3 encrypted accounts overseas. Please somebody tell me how a 20-year-old kid had all the knowledge and OPSEC necessary to pull this kind of shit off. I call MK Ultra shooter inside job. This is all bullshit, guys. Done.
And the fact that they've said offshore accounts. Now, I seriously, a lot of people I saw, I don't know if Laura Loomer or someone jumped on and they're like, it had 3 separate bank accounts. I'm like, that's actually not what the story said. They said accounts. And so I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's like being too naive here, but like when you start a Twitter account, right? You give your email and a password, and now you've got a profile on Twitter, but that's your account, right? So we refer to stuff like that. So having off-site accounts where they could communicate stuff, maybe, certainly. If he had bank accounts off-site, holy fuck, this is like next level. Like he's a CIA asset somehow. Like what, they hire him when he was 14? Like insane. So again, possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just trying to take the facts, like what we know for sure, and what analysis we can do from that, right? Like I'm up for what you guys are thinking, but it's kind of what we know. Now here's Trump basically throwing the boss of the Secret Service under the bus.
No one told you not to take the stage?
No, nobody mentioned it. Nobody said there was a problem. And I would have waited for 15. They could have said, let's wait for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, something. Nobody said, I think that was a mistake. How did somebody get on that roof? And why wasn't he reported? Because people saw that he was on the roof. I mean, you had Trumpers screaming. The woman in the red shirt, she was screaming, there's a man on the roof. And then other people said, there's a man on the roof who's got a gun. And that was quite a bit before I walked onto the stage. So you would have thought somebody would have done something about it.
There's a man on the wing of this plane. Sorry, that made me think of it. But yes, there was a man on the roof. It's like, hello, hello, McFlies, a.k.a. police. What the shit? What was going on? What was going through their minds? They were hoping a bullet was going to go through Trump's. I know. Here is the fine. I won't even be able to put this video up. I don't know. I'll put this video up and I'll let YouTube get mad at me and I'll trim it out. So any of you that are watching this on YouTube, you don't get to see the cool video. You should look up The Sum of All Fears by Nessun Dorma. I want you all to see it. For those of you who've seen this movie, this is the beautiful part. Now, what happens in the movie, for those of you that don't understand or forgot, someone tried to kill the president and failed. And so the Russians and the Americans had back channels open, and they were able to organize and save World War III from happening, and were able to, at this part of the movie, they were able to retaliate, I guess. I'm not saying retaliation's okay, but when the deep state and doing it, when it's spies killing spies, yeah, that kind of shit happens. And I think Trump finishing off his Friday speech with this song was that indication to the deep state. I think. Others think. Could be wrong. Who knows? But this is awesome. Check it out. such a great movie. Scary as hell, but a great movie. And that song, right? Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to apologize to all my friends out there that talk with their hands. Yeah, they got an accent. They sound like this sometimes. They'll call you names like Guido and stuff like that. I don't know what they're saying half the time, but they're talking like this. They're going to be pissed at me because this was done, I believe, in Italian. I hope I'm not totally stupid. But in beautiful. But, I hope this is where it is. Yeah. But this lady, who has a gorgeous voice, sang it in English. Now, I know it kind of ruins it a little bit, but at the same time, it makes more sense. They're not just choosing this song because of the power and it sounds great with that Italian-y shit going on in the background. No, it actually kind of is an interesting set of words, but it's also powerful how they sing it. Anyway, I don't know. I thought this was pretty cool. I'm going to stay on screen just in case I start crying again. I'm curious. I've only watched this once so far, and it made me totally tear up. I'm curious what it does to you guys and me again.
You have probably heard this song so many times but have no idea what he is saying. Here is Nessun Dorma in English. But my secrets are hidden well. My name no one shall ever know. No, no. Oh, my princess, you know these secrets till I tell them. In morning light, then your kiss dissolves the silence of the morning. Come love me, darling. Oh, we will vanish into the night sky. See all those bright stars at dawn. We'll win. We will win. Oh, we
I think there's some like dust or something floating around here. It's so strange. Oh, yes, my God, we will win. We will win. We will win. That's what Trump's sharing with us, man. Oh, it's awesome. Ha, can't talk. Get it out. Get it out, Dan. Phew. Stupid emotions. All right, here we go. According to reports, USS Director Cheadle, a.k.a. Cheetos, will be resigning as early as Monday. She's supposed to be talking to Congress on Monday. We'll see if she actually leaves. This is, again, a rumored speech. I can't wait to hear her say, no, I'm not leaving. It's like, oh, they're getting rid of you, sweetheart. You are toast. Florida man accused of threatening to kill Donald Trump, says J.D. Vance. Oh, and J.D. Vance, my bad. Both of them. Two birds, multiple stones, probably. But, yeah, this dude got busted. By the way, guys, you can be pissed off at everybody all you want. Excuse me. But you cannot threaten people. You cannot joke about threatening people. You can't kind of act like threatening words towards people. It just is one of those things in society we've kind of got to be like, hey, when somebody starts like throwing stuff at you, you probably should have a cop get involved, right? Right? And that's kind of what you're doing when you're threatening people. You're throwing stuff. And that makes you sort of dangerous, right? Maybe not lethal force, but certainly someone's got to tell you to stop it. So Just saying, for anybody out there that's crazy enough to do this kind of stuff, please don't. Wow, man, that song got me. Dude, I'm like, my sinuses are all jacked. Frick, I figured fixing it through the show. Whatever, we're going to deal with it. I'm not going to take a break. I'm like in the emotion, you know? General Flynn posted this. Said, I'm reposting this earlier. Well, the important part is this really right here. We need to understand that the globalist left are going to do everything they can do to undermine, usurp, steal. I said it. I love it. Thank you. This November's election. They're going to. We know that. Doesn't mean we still don't go vote. Doesn't mean we still don't keep fighting. I had someone ask me one time recently, and I don't know why this type of stuff pisses me off. I don't know. I feel like a general at times. I hope I'm at least corporal or something. I don't know what the hell's the rank. I was never in the actual military, but you got to wonder the people that continue to forget that we're fighting an enemy that's going to do everything they can to cheat. And they said, what if you lose the election next time? And I'm like, so? What, are you going to give up? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, then who cares? Like, we're going to overwhelm them. Yeah, they're going to probably try to cheat. Hopefully we can fix all the voting rolls and all that stuff. I mean, we've got American First Legal. We got a few different groups that are suing the shit out of everybody. So we got 4 months. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Get involved. Make ripples. Part of why we need you guys engaged, because you guys actually make the difference. An awake person has like 10 times the force and more, depending on how awake you are. But I mean that literally. One awake person, minimum for all of you. You're making up for 10 asleep people. You're more powerful than 10. I know I don't want to get into the math. I don't even have actual math, but this is something that's been demonstrated. It takes a smaller number of people to cause mass consciousness change than most realize. We've been very successful, and this whole thing, and Q was really a big start of it, by the way. A lot of people can hate that. I don't give a crap. But that was a big part of really getting this group of people. There's some shady ones mixed in there, but ultimately it started this kind of grassroots movement. J.D. Vance says leaked memo shows J.D. Vance's anti-woke ideology on foreign affairs. This dude's been anti-woke for a long time. He's frozen dozens of ambassador nominations in Congress and the Senate. This dude's been a stalwart individual. I know there's some ups and downs on how some people feel about him. I mean, I'm cool with it. I like the fact that he didn't like Trump and used to badmouth him. Again, what somebody did 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I don't care. What are they doing now? Now, if they're faking it, and this is happening with people, well, let's see. How much are you putting your head out there and saying stuff? Like Ted Cruz is still questionable with me sometimes, but for the most part, he's on the right page. I think he worries about his daughter. I've said that every time, and I would too. I would too if I had a daughter. It's probably been a threat at some point from one of these bastards. Keep doing your shit, buddy, and watch what happens. Sending her pictures of her walking at school and shit, freak them out. So yeah, J.D. Vance is going in on this hard. We know we're being attacked. We know we're being shot at. They know their families are in danger. It takes a lot to do that. Right now is a hard time to, be effective at changing the world. That much is true. Where are we at? Oh, okay. Josh Dunlap posted this. I don't know who he is, but it doesn't matter. He goes, I work for Wayne County, Michigan, and I threw out every Trump ballot I saw. Every one of them. Me and my friends. Tens of thousands of them, they say. So, I don't know, FBI. I'm just saying if this is actually true and he actually posted this on Truth, he's admitting to a crime, you should probably look into it. Or American First Legal, if you can. Josh Dunlap, it's probably been deleted by now. July 19th, he posted this, so I'm just saying. Strange how the game is played. Tucker Carlson posted this, and he was implying basically that Barack's gay. I just think a lot of you guys would appreciate this. And then Barack kind of tries to correct it, but it's still funny. And considering Joe Biden's not the guy anymore, and whatever, think what you think.
I know Barack got tested for AIDS. There's no shame in being tested for AIDS. It's an important thing because the fact of the matter is in the community's engaged in denial. They're engaged in denial. No one wants to talk about it in the community, and we do not have enough leaders in the community and outside the community demanding we face the reality confront the men in the community as well as the women, letting them know there are alternatives.
Thank you.
Travis, I just got to make clear, I got tested with Michelle. When we were in Kenya and Africa, so I don't want any confusion here about what's going on.
And I got tested to save my life because I had 13 pints of blood
with my wife.
And I'm sure Michelle appreciates you clarifying.
I don't know if you guys caught that end part where Joe, I mean, it was funny as hell how Obama's like, and I was out there with the only butt I'm using right now. I get that. But what's funny is Joe Biden's like, oh my God, I've stuck it in so many, I don't even know. I had like transfusions of blood. I had to, why were you, what? You were getting tested because they thought you had AIDS?
I know Barack.
Wow. And tries to throw the old Obama man under the bus. That's strange. No wonder Obama hates his ass. Here's Josh Hawley talking about the Secret Service trying to pass the blame on local law enforcement. That's bad. That's taboo. It ain't cool.
Well, the Secret Service director needs to be fired. But they knew there was a suspect. You know, the guy had a rangefinder, for crying out loud. Who carries around a rangefinder with them? How stupid is this director? Well, we didn't want to put the officers at risk, so we put them inside the building, but not outside the perimeter of the building to make sure nobody got on top of the roof of the building. And why? You're telling me that it was mostly not Secret Service? And why are they blaming, again, local police? That's not their job. It's the job of the Secret Service. They don't have enough resources. Well, maybe we could take some money back from Ukraine and apply it to the Secret Service and protect every elected official.
And I tell you what, Sean, what local authorities told me here today, I talked to local law enforcement, and what they told me is they are angry that they're getting unfairly blamed. What they told me is, well, listen, we did our job. We did what we were asked to do. The Secret Service wasn't prepared. They didn't give them clear instructions. Locals are saying, don't roll this over onto us. You should take some responsibility, Secret Service, and they should. And your point about Ukraine is right. We can spend how many billions on Ukraine, but we can't protect an American president? I mean, what's going on around here? We've got to get the facts, Sean. And I tell you what, I won't rest until we get them.
I don't know if any of my uber conservative friends that have access to me out there know, but like I don't know when it became cool not to wear ties. I almost feel like it was when Rush Limbaugh died. Is that even maybe close? I'm just curious. It's kind of funny, but even Hannity's not wearing a tie, which is awesome. I'm just so glad we broke through that stupid barrier. Just kind of in a weird, unrelated thing. Here's more Holly talking some more stuff about this shooting that just doesn't make sense.
As you can see behind me, this is the roof the shooter was on. It is a very low roof, and it is very close to the fairground. I mean, it's right here. The president's stage was right over there, 150 yards or something away. And it's no wonder people could see him because this roof is low. This building is really close in, and it's totally exposed. I mean, right where I'm standing, there were gobs of people. So it's no wonder that lots of folks saw him. The question is, why didn't law enforcement see him get on the roof? Why didn't they see him on the roof? Why didn't they go up and confront him before he started shooting, or before he got on the roof when he was all in this area? It's so close together. It's hard to understand.
My God, did you guys see that? Look at how sloped that roof is. Oh my God. The other roof is way more sloped, by the way. Way more sloped. The dude was way by the edge, by the way, to be able to avoid being seen, because literally it's not that sloped. And then there's a higher roof right next to it, which would actually be an interesting place to have a second shooter if there were one. I don't know. But that would be similar angle. And I bet if we looked at some of those trajectories, I don't know. I'm just saying. Jason Miller put this out. Joey from Scranton would never bow to the rich elites like Obama and Pelosi. Biden won't allow his legacy to be that he quit his campaign and his presidency because he was brutally humiliated in a debate by President Trump. Biden's not a quitter. I like how they were trying to egg him. He ended up quitting, or he's telling us supposedly he's officially quitting. But I like how they're like hitting him with that, oh, I'll meet you behind the gym kind of energy, because he just can't. That pisses him off. It'll make him be like, no, I'm going to stay. F it. I thought it through. I talked to Jill, and I talked to Hunter, smartest man I know. Okay, buddy. JD Vance posted this. If Joe Biden doesn't have the cognitive function to run for re-election, then he certainly doesn't have the cognitive function to remain as commander-in-chief. How can any Dem pushing him to drop out of the presidential race argue in good faith that he should stay on as POTUS? Kind of a good point. President Biden posted this, and General Flynn had a rather nice response. Biden said, the brilliant man that his Jean-Pierre is, said today, Evan Gershkovich received a sentence of 16 years in a Russian prison despite having committed no crime. I will not mince words. He was targeted by the Russian government because he is a journalist and an American. General Mike Flynn, I will not mince words, quote, I was targeted by the American government because I am a journalist and an Australian, mate. He didn't say the mate part. Julian Assange. Same thing. Again, I know we don't like some of the things they posted, but they did show the absolute atrocity that is the problem. And that was the deep state, by the way, guys. There are some black forces. And what's bad is the normal forces kind of get a black eye for it, if you will. Panda face even kind of. I mean, it's relative. Anyway. Jason Miller, she's running. Hillary's talking. These opinion pieces don't happen organically. Crooked's on the move, so they're already kind of bringing her into the play. Right now, she's officially saying that, you should keep donating to Biden until something else happens. But they're basically, getting ready, positioning themselves for what supposedly is kind of officially happened. Again, we'll see. Curious if it changes tomorrow. But yeah, Hillary Clinton's going to be in the mix. I just think it's funny. All right, Team Kamala. Yeah, they're rallying to create a path for power of vice president as Democrats call for Biden to step aside. Step to the side. Well, okay, don't make him step anywhere. Just walk around him, maybe, by the way, because he's not going to go fast, and you should be able to catch him, and you should be able to walk around him, unless it's the staircase, and I'd just wait if I were you. All said, apparently Kamala Harris is in the running. So this is funny. This is J.D. Vance already blasting Kamala Harris because it's most likely going to be her at first. We'll see how this plays out. Do they cycle out? Do they 25th Amendment get Biden out of the way completely and be like, see, now we're cool. You can trust us, right? And then they're going to try to bring in like Hillary Clinton as vice president. You watch, right? You watch. And then immediately on stage, Hillary Clinton would walk up, presidential immunity, bam, shoots him right in the face. On TV, I'm alleging, of course, this wouldn't happen in real life. It's never okay, but I'm just saying Hillary's nuts, right? I don't know. We're going to see how this shit show plays. It's going to be rad.
It's such an incredible, blessed week. What a cool thing it was to be asked by President Trump to serve as his running mate and to get out there on the campaign trail. But there's some bad news, actually. The vice president, Kamala Harris, she doesn't like me. Kamala Harris said something to the effect that I have no loyalty to this country. Well, I don't know, Kamala. I did serve in the United States Marine Corps and build a business. What the hell have you done other than collect the check? What? What has she done other than collect a check from her political offices? And we have to give her credit, my friends. She did serve as border czar during the biggest disaster open border that we've ever had in this country. Let's get President Trump back there, close down that border, and bring some common sense and security to this country.
I want to say, I think he talks really well. That's one thing I'm actually really impressed with. Ben Carson is, but he's a little more kind of subdued, a little more withdrawn. Again, he is the one I like the most, but just for probably good and bad reasons. I thought for the next pandemic, it'd be cool to have a doctor in the house, but yeah, all said. Donald Trump Jr. posted this. Oh, so the USSS brass lied. They flagrantly denied something they could have checked in 2 seconds. Then after an uproar, they turned around and told the truth a week later about a simple request for more manpower on my father's detail. Why try to hide that easily discoverable fact? Donald Trump Jr. says. Now here's the first statement they made, the Secret Service. The assertion that a member of the former president's security team requested additional security resources that the U.S. Secret Service or the Department of Homeland Security rebuffed is absolutely false, said Anthony Guglielmi. Guglielmi. There we go, a little better. Anyway, he's the spokeshole for the Secret Service. Well, that wasn't true, and the facts destroyed him. It's funny how malinformation works, you dumbasses. So their next statement, after receiving detailed questions from the Washington Post, Guglielmi said that the agency had learned new information indicating the agency's headquarters may have in fact denied some requests for additional security for Trump's detail and was reviewing documentation to understand the specific interactions better. So you guys said no. You guys didn't cover the roof. You guys didn't have someone there because it was sloped, even though they were on a more sloped roof with tripods and good shoes, apparently. And I saw a cow do it. Few things. Fast speed camera happening at the exact second that Trump's talking. What are you afraid you're going to miss Trump's mouth? Like what are you like trying to get Matrix for? Unless a Matrix moment was happening. It's hard to run. It takes a bunch of memory to just go and just go like fast frame on something for any length of time. You're expecting it to happen in a reasonably small amount of time. Maybe they offload to other stuff and whatever. Sure, right? I'm sure there's pretty sweet terabytes, maybe. I don't know what they can actually do these days, but still, there's only so much. And it's a lot of frames. It's high definition. It's crazy. So, yeah, they've changed their tune. The absurdity of the USS and DHS leadership leaking they increased security around President Trump in response to an IRGC QF threat to create the appearance they care is, had this actually been a QF operation, it would have ended tragically with the security present that day. Basically saying, thank God that's not actually true, but they're trying to say Iran is trying to assassinate the president. I just got a report right now. It just came into my ear. Like, that's stupid. They're making shit up. So here we are. Here we are in the new world. Here's Biden, his statement, July 21st. My fellow Americans, I'm not going to try to do his voice. I don't know how to. Over the past 3.5 years, we made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. Okay, I just disagree with all of that, but I'm not going to waste my time. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. I mean, except all you MAGA fucks. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world, with the exception of Russia and a whole bunch of other countries that hate our asses right now. China, North Korea, Iran's not real thrilled with us, so we keep giving them money. Anyway, it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude for all of those who have worked so hard and see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust that you have placed in me. Again, none of these things are true anywhere except that maybe he's quitting. Finally, I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together, except you MAGA fucks. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. Joseph R. Biden, Jr., Sr. I'm just going to do a quick DRS. I got to do at least one ad. I totally forgot to put them in. You guys probably love that. All said, go to drslikesgold.com. Any of you guys that are still in their system, look at the way things are happening and the crazy stuff. And you know, if like the CEO of Microsoft, something happened, like there's just weird stuff happening, right? I don't trust stocks. And, you know, there was two on my little thing that I got that I have to, that were both companies you would invest, Paramount and Walgreens, and both of them took a major shit. They're both companies you'd want to invest in. Now, again, you diversify and hope that it doesn't hurt that bad, but CrowdStrike's another one that took a big giant pile of crap. They were one of those top companies as well. Their system's stacked against us, and they're going to take their winnings before you get yours if stuff hits the fan. What's smart is to get out of it. Get out of it before they have a chance to, or before it crashes, before they have a chance to F it up, whatever. I don't know who's trying to destroy this house of cards, but it's flimsy and it's coming down. If you're paying attention, you see that. If you've got a 401k and IRA, you've got a bunch of wealth, whatever it is at this point, established. You can move that tax-free, penalty-free over into gold IRAs. Gold IRAs right now are performing incredible, and it's actual physical metal. It's not paper contracts, by the way. It's physical metal put in a trust. It's yours, and you can actually continue to put money or gold in or silver in every month. You can definitely do that. It's a powerful vehicle that right now is performing. It and Bitcoin are the only two that are actually positive in big ways, too, by the way. Positive with buying power after. Prices of homes, they're high, yes, but the inflation level going so the way it has been, they're actually losing buying power. It's the same box of goods for a way higher price. Think about that. A lot of people say, well, no, it just gets nicer. No, your home does not. You have to replace a roof after, 30 years? Right? Homes don't get nicer as they get older. They get older. Yet it's way more expensive. See? That's how you know. Inflation's destroying your dollar. It's also destroying the money you've got sitting in the bank account right now. It's up to you. But what I would recommend, and again, cash is something we're going to need for a while. But if you got some extra and you're just like, I've got it in this money market account or whatever, you might want to actually consider putting it in gold, like buying some gold, buying some precious metals, having them mail those to you. I've actually done that a bunch with Gold Code. Buy some precious, have them send it. You could actually qualify up to $8,000 in free silver. It's all happening through the same place with the Great State Company. They want you to ask questions. There's a lot to it, and it's fantastic. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Protect your money. Protect your wealth. You've spent years accruing it. Spare them the joy of screwing up your life. DRSlikesgold.com. That was like weirdly painful to say. All said. Good stuff. Here's Donald Trump stuff relative to this whole Biden kind of transitioning. Some breaking news. They heard today that during their amazing rally in the great state of Michigan, esteemed Florida Circuit Court Judge Robert L. Pegg issued a powerful decision totally and completely denying the Pulitzer Prize Board's desperate attempt to dismiss my ironclad defamation lawsuit. They tried to dismiss it. They're not letting him. His lawsuit against the Pulitzer Prize people is moving forward. Donald Trump's destroying. I love it. Michigan here in Trump country, baby, now. Look at this is Michigan. Michigan. I don't know about you, but that looked like a lot of people. I think there's more than 5 people in the crowd. Here's Donald Trump talking about, let me begin this evening with very special thanks. Let's start there.
Let me begin this evening with a very special thanks to Americans nationwide, including all of you here today, for your extraordinary outpouring of love and support in the wake of the horrific last Saturday event. And when you think of it, it was exactly 1 week ago today, almost to the hour, even to the minute. Yeah. Incredible. What a day it was. As I said earlier this week, I stand before you only by the grace of Almighty God. That's true. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, that changes your whole way of looking at life. I think there's been a few of us that have skated death or skirted death more than once, maybe. You're just like, damn. All right, I'm supposed to be here for whatever reason. Democrats are going to go to the convention, and they have a couple of problems. Let's see what this is about.
And now we have something coming up where they're going to go for the convention, and they have a couple of problems. Number one, they have no idea who their candidate is. and neither do we. That's a problem. But we'll see. Hopefully they get it worked out. Sort of interesting, this guy goes and he gets the votes and now they want to take it away. That's democracy. They talk about democracy. Let's take it away from them.
I just love the fact that people are calling out what their version of democracy is, removing people from ballots. And it's like, you guys you're not democratic in any way, shape, or form. It's weird as hell. Anywho, Trump talking about Elon. I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool to see these two united. And he's given a bunch of money. Trump's acknowledging that, which is like,
We have to make life good for our smart people, you know? We have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people. And he's as smart as you get. But Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. But he gives me $45 million a month. A month. Not 45 million. Gives me 45 million a month. And I talked to him just a little while ago to say I was coming here, how you doing? And he didn't even mention it. He didn't mention. I mean, other guys, they give you $2 and you got to take them to lunch. You got to wine them, dine them. No, he's a great guy. He really is. But, you know, he's never mentioned to me, why are you hitting the electric cars? Because he understands I'm not hitting it. I think it's incredible. I've had them. I've driven them. They're incredible. But they're not.
they don't go far enough. I think it's pretty basically where he's going. That's the typical thing he said anyways. And they don't go far enough at all. But they're cool as hell. They're fast as hell. It's the fastest production car on the market right now, I believe. Beats like Ferraris and stuff like that, literally. They're super, especially if you've got that plaid one or whatever the hell. Dude, I saw somebody with one of those and I was on my bike, and my bike is like the Tesla of motorcycles. It's stupid fast. I don't have it set on kill yourself. I have it set on just normal. You're probably, but it's, they were faster, which is tripping me out because my bike is super, like if I can get through an intersection, I'm usually doing 40 to 45 by the time I hit the other side of the intersection. That's how quickly this thing accelerates. Dude, that plaid had me killed. Yeah, and I thumbed him when I finally got close to him because there was a traffic signal. So, yeah, incredibly fast. Holy crap. And scary as hell, but still. Sheila Jackson Lee. She is a senator. I am not in any way, shape, or form. My prayers go out to her family. Sheila Jackson Lee has passed away. She was a rep in Texas. She's been involved in all sorts of things. So I'm, again, not going to rejoice, but I'm just going to share some information that just happens to revolve around this individual. Ms. Jackson Lee, God rest your soul, and I mean that, frequently wore earrings and rings and stuff along those lines that had these like NAMBLA symbols and stuff like that on them. Here's her wearing one of those. Now, okay, it's probably just coincidence. Beautiful ring. Maybe someone gave it to her as a gift. Possible. Who knows? I hope she was a good person. Don't know. There's that. Rick Gervais, I'm not sure if he actually said this, though it totally sounds like him. If you imagine him saying this, it's like, yeah, I could totally see him doing that. When they make the Epstein movie, how many of you will play yourselves? Right? Like, that's brutal. I love it. Okay, so a little of this CrowdStrike stuff. First off, a lot of people are saying a lot of things. I don't know. Here's the thing. Someone actually got their hands on the actual error, which was attempt to read from address. There's an address. This dude's a major professional programmer, does C++ all the time, expert at it. And so he breaks down what's up and why this happened. This is what happened. Now, why it happened, why it didn't get caught in QA, QC, whatever, any of those. Why didn't it actually, it was just odd how it was forced. Like, there's a nefarious possibility. CrowdStrike could have gotten hacked and they could have pushed code that wasn't supposed to go out or changed something in the code and then republished it. Don't know. There are a lot of ways this could have happened. This is a rookie move, though. That's kind of the point. What this address is, I don't want to waste a lot of time on it, but this address is specific to Windows. Now, so that's why it's Windows machines. But this address block, and the blocks are just numbers basically, but they do it hexadecimally, so it's this long string, if you will, of text number stuff. And so that's how they display all sorts of crazy different things. It just means something else. So they use this hexadecimal. It actually meant a number. I think they said it was like 156 or something like that. It might be relevant to a lot of people. Yeah, 156 is actually what 0.00009C equals. is 156, right? So that's that. That block of memory is specifically for Windows and its operating system. The way Windows handles that when something's trying to write to its core part of its memory is it goes, oh, problem, pew, and shuts down. And that's what happened. So all these machines that are Windows machines, which a lot are in many, many, many businesses, airlines, banks, all over the place. They've got Windows machines, and they've got CrowdStrike as their security. Like I said, the company I work for, they had CrowdStrike for a while. We hated it for a lot of reasons I don't want to get into, but we didn't like it. So we stopped using it. We're with a different program. I don't want to mention what that is either because it's just not good, but there's other products. I swear to God, it's probably almost worse, but whatever the case is. And so that's what happened. A lot of it could, like I said, could they have been hacked? It could have, the way they pushed the code, like that is possible. Like it would be hard to do, but people do get spammed frequently at companies with the phishing attempts, right? And spear phishing in particular, if you're looking for someone that you know's got unique access, so you might try to get their information. So who knows? But a software patch actually jacked all these machines. It caused it to basically crash, go blue screen. Windows was like, save self, go blue screen. And it like writes a log, saves what it can, and then just done. USCG Northeast, the Coast Guard, is currently experiencing temporary network outage. Radio communications were limited at the time. Mariners are encouraged to monitor a different channel, VHF channel, which I think is more like radios and walkie-talkies and stuff like that, or whatever. All mariners are strongly encouraged to report any distress to the CG via telephone. That's some high-tech stuff. That's not going to get you noticed. So this is what happened. It even affected the military. Talk about outages. Did we just get a taste of a possible potential problem? Jason put this out. I guess CrowdStrike doesn't do staged rollouts. And Elon Musk's like, we just deleted CrowdStrike from all our systems. So no rollouts at all. He's done. He's like, nope, not going to use CrowdStrike. A lot of companies are not going to use CrowdStrike. Poor CrowdStrike is probably not going to survive this, but they supposedly are a deep state company hardcore. So we'll see what happens. Here's Trump talking about, I don't remember who did this video. Let's play it.
But Mr. Trump's tweets persisted. Why did the DNC refuse to turn over its server to the FBI? And where are hidden and smashed DNC servers? There were more than 140 servers in the Democrats' network, but Mr. Trump created an image of a single box of incriminating information.
Where is the server? I want to know, where is the server and what is the server saying? With that being said, all I can do is ask the question. My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this. I don't see any reason why it would be, but I really do want to see the server.
This is a key for so much. One, it demonstrates how the deep state's been trying to protect all this. But two, it shows how they throw blame. And three, that DNC server has a gold mine, or had a gold mine. This is, again, all playing out. The military was the only way, unquestionably. And we're living through it, folks. Trump posted this. President Zelensky of Ukraine and I had a very good phone call earlier today. He congratulated me on a very successful Republican National Convention and becoming the Republican nominee for President of the United States. He condemned the heinous assassination attempt last Saturday and remarked about the American people coming together in the spirit of unity during these times, which is also how this is going to push us way over the end zone. He continued, I appreciate President Zelensky for reaching out because I, as your next president of the United States, will bring peace to the world and end the war that has cost so many lives and devastated countless innocent families. Both sides will be able to come together and negotiate a deal that ends the violence and paves a path forward to prosperity. Trump is always working the deal. So Zelensky pushes UK for permission to strike Russia with long-range British missiles. So out of one side of his mouth, he's like, Trump, yeah, no, looking forward to working with you. I know you're going to stop everything. And then out of his other side of his mouth, he's like, okay, British people, I need to be able to attack them straight into Russia and see if we can start a war. feel like it's more of a Russian accent, but I don't know the difference between Ukrainian and Russian. I'm sure I'm offending multiple people right now. Just saying. You're welcome. All said. Yeah, he's trying to get permission to attack deep within the heart of Russia using our weapons. If you push the button but you still shoot our weapon, it's not really our fault. It's like, yeah, it is still your fault, you dumbasses. Any of y'all out there that don't think that's our fault, like, well, we didn't want them to. That's stupid. So we didn't want them to start World War III. I get that. We're not going to trust these bastards. Russia warns it seeks concentrated presence of NATO warships in the Black Sea. Apparently, Kremlin's telling everybody that there's a whole bunch of NATO ships that are in the Black Sea, like they're trying to get ready for war. He's like, you all are pushing this narrative really hard right now, and there's actual evidence of you pushing forces closer. NATO's literally trying to start World War III. Why? Because the deep state is so scared of what's happening to them. This is their only way out. Then they can run to their bunkers and kill off as many of us as they possibly can. They'll be able to rise back up and take control of the situation, and they'll still rule forever. But that's not what's happening, unfortunately, for them. I mean, for us, it's awesome. It's fantastic for us. Capitol Police adding more officers to Netanyahu's list. It scares me that he's coming here. First off, I swear I could see one of these nuttards trying to arrest him, but that would be so taboo, like politically right now. So that'd be sort of weird, right? And that would actually just demonstrate how this administration hates Israel. So I'm kind of prepared for it to a degree. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Netanyahu, I hope. Yeah, I don't know how this works, but yeah, he's like, we need more help because you guys suck and you're all into assassinating people right now, deep state, and this is a perfect place for that to happen. Yemen got attacked. I want to say it was Friday. I don't know if somehow I missed this, but whatever the case was, here's a giant-ass fire, massive airstrike on Yemen. I guess it let a lot of oil out into the water, and that's what we're actually seeing is, one, there's some building, I think, maybe behind that, but there's also some oil burning on the shore and the water, and it's like just... It looks huge, but that's also a powerful visual, right? And here's, I guess, a piece of, some video showing it. It's kind of crazy. That is a big-ass fire. I don't know if BAF is a fair assessment at this point, but boy, it feels like a big-ass fire to me. That reminds me of the ones they had in Saddam Hussein, right? When they started, and we were backing out of Kuwait, and they started burning off all the oil wells. That was pretty jacked up. Deep state once again. Elon Musk posted this. I think we're finishing here. AB 1955, authored by pedophile apologist Scott Wayner, and which at Gavin Newsom just signed into law in California, is a child predator's dream. And they're talking about how this, regarding AB 1955, signed into law this week, they're talking about how it essentially mimics the tactics of child predators by isolating children from their parents. Because the parents care about their kids. Child predators don't. They want to get a behavior moving. They want to take advantage. They're thinking in different terms. That's why Elon Musk's talking about moving the SpaceX headquarters. And it's also a reason why we've got to keep fighting, keep pushing, keep making noise. This is all we can do, guys. But we're actually making a huge difference. It's powerful. I want to remind you guys, too, to check out Truth Thread if you guys want to be part of helping the channel and also sharing a wonderful message to the world. We got the 5G shirts for sure. Let's make sure I can pull this up and talk at the same time. But yeah, we've got the 5G warfare stuff, all sorts of cool different varieties of how you can get that, a few different colors for all of them. And yeah, you don't get the models, by the way. I've asked. It's unfortunate, but whatever. It's got the cool thing on the back where it shows people what first generation, second, third, fourth, fifth is, and it says that you are here. So it's really well done. And I know we've got another shirt coming here, but we want to get some of these 5G shirts moving. We want people to understand this is an information war, and this is an awesome way that you can kind of promote that. And then, of course, you've got OTF Army Enlightenment. If you want to literally wear like my uniform, I love the shirts too, man. I love them. They're really high quality, and she's got stuff on the front and the back and the sleeve. No one else is doing it like that, man. You are showing it, right? And she's got, of course, OTF Nation on the side, which is super cool. This is awesome stuff. You guys are helping the channel, helping a family. All sorts of good things are happening, and you're certainly getting the word out, which helps a lot of other people. We are truly making a difference. Go to truththread.shop. Truththread.shop. help out. You guys know Free. She's the family. She's the family we're helping out. She's got kids, man. They got to eat. They're eating all the time. 2 boys, too. Probably going to eat them out of the house. I think she lives in a shoe. I heard. I don't know. She talks about Long Island, and I get lost and stuff. But anyway, well, who knows? Who knows what's going on? Truththread.shop. Truththread.shop. Help out the big guys. We're making a difference, all of us. And it's because of you guys. The ripples. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.